Hi guys, and welcome to my first battle company with Blackfyre Productions. My name's Taylor and I'm battling Andrew today. We are going to be playing a Tales of Middle-earth Hobbit Battle Company's battle report. Wow, that was wordy. I played my first Battle Company's game versus Ash with Guerrilla
Miniature Games.
Thank you, Guerrilla Miniature Games. And I played my Rohan versus his Warriors of Arnor, I believe. It's going a little bit back here. And I lost, but had one guy sit out, so I'm going a little, not at full strength right now. And we're playing Andrew's Goblins, Moria Goblins, and he just played a game versus Adam's Chorusers of Umbar, and he actually won, and all your guys survived, so you're at full battle companies. We're going to be playing the Aftermath scenario, and here's a look at the table. So here's the table that we're playing on, kind of a ruined Gondor table. We've got this amazing tower done by Ben Boomer we're friends with him through the Ontario Strategy Battle Gaming League. And so that's kind of our centerpiece, and then we've got all the ruined buildings around. So now we'll take a look at our armies. We've got my army, we've got Baldur, the commander, Falstrad, and Helothane with the old battle wound with the axe over there. Then we've got Garbad, who's my throwing spear and shield. Then I've got one guy, Helmwine, sitting out, who's got a throwing spear and shield. And then 3 bowmen. But since I was a little silly, I actually forgot one of my bowmen. So Helmwine, who usually has a shield back here, I've just taken off his shield, and he's going to be my other bowman for this turn. And I do apologize that my bases aren't done. I do my bases once my models are all finished, and these guys aren't quite finished up to how I like to get them. So here's Andrew's force, full fighting force. And if you want to explain who your guys are.
Yeah, so here's my captain here. He's a Shargat. And I have the other lieutenants right here, and also this guy up here. And then I have some spearmen, another shieldman, bowman, and 2 wargs.
Perfect. So let's do deployment. So as you can see on the table, we have these 5 little blue markers. Where is it? There he is. And there's one right there. And also one in the tower. So in Aftermath, this is the end of a giant battle, and you have to go and search for survivors. So once 2 guys get to each marker and are there for a turn, are there for a shooting phase without shooting, you then roll a dice to figure out who you found. On a 1, no survivors. On a 2, 1 enemy survivor. On a 3, 2 enemy survivors. On a 4 or a 5, 1 friendly survivor. And on a 6, 2 friendly survivors. So then you get to use them, and they are... Survivors use the mercenary profile and are armed with hand weapons. They are controlled by the appropriate player and must remain alive until the end of the game to count towards victory. And to win, the game concludes at the end of the turn during which all 5 locations have been searched and/or the other company is destroyed. Whichever side receives the most survivors wins. So that's what we're playing for, and I'm going to let Andrew set up on that side of the table, and then I'll set up on this side of the table within 3 inches of the board edge. So yeah, we'll get placed, and then we'll start our first turn. So I've set up 4 of my guys here, going for this first objective, and I'm probably trying to get into the tower. And then I've also got 3 more guys here, going for the second objective on my edge. Then on the goblin side, we've got 2 wargs here that are going, I'm guessing they're running over there. Got a little cluster of 6 over here going to their first objective. And then his 2 archers are hiding under that little ruins over there. So now to roll for priority. So rolling for priority, 2 versus 1. So I get to move first. So my guys have just kind of all gone full out to try and get into their into search for survivors. Then over on the goblin side, the 2 fell wargs have actually gotten here. The goblins have moved forward, and so have the goblins over here. So we'll roll for this objective because I'm assuming that you can't shoot. Correct. And I can't shoot either. So rolling for that. 2, which means you get 1 friendly, 1 enemy model. So one of my guys is actually going to pop up here this turn, but not be in base contact. So for our wounded warriors that we're trying to, our survivors, there we go. I'm going to use Numenorians with Spear because that's what I've got here, but he's just going to have a hand weapon and his stat lines will be...
Fight 3, shoot 4, strength 3, defense 4, attack 1, wound 1, courage 3.
And then Andrew, thank you Andrew, and then when he finds guys, he's going to use Numenorians with sword just to differentiate them from our actual army so we can keep track. So now we're on to priority for turn 2. So priority for turn 2, 1, and to Andrew's 4. So Andrew has priority, so we'll be back after movements. So movement. So 2 of my guys have come up here and are searching for during the shooting phase for these guys. So actually I'll roll for their shoot right now. 2. So an enemy warrior. So that's gone. And we're getting one of the goblin enemy survivors, who's a Numenorian. We're just rolling with it. Then over here, these guys have moved up. To that, they can't shoot because they've moved full. Over here, my 1 found survivor, I think he's gonna die. I'm pretty sure he's gonna die.
We'll see.
And then the goblins have moved up their next 5 inches over here to try and get into base contact with this one. So now we're on to the fight. So 4 of Andrew's dice, and he is going to feint with the bowman.
But the bowman, those are the red dice.
And I've got my 1, so here's a roll. 5.
We tie.
We tie. So
roll off.
Roll off. So 1, 2, 3, you, 4, 5, 6, me. 1. So goblins win. So I am trapped.
Roll this twice. I think a 5 will get him.
5 will get him. Yeah, so my survivor died. So he didn't survive for that long, but he kept the wargs occupied for this turn, which I'm happy about. So that's the end of that turn. So now we're on to priority for turn 3. 3, 2, so I get priority. So the end of the movement phase, I had one of my Falstred up here went in and attacked the survivor over here. The other 3 guys who are over there are running towards the tower to try and find the survivors there. These 3 guys here have gone in and are going to search for survivors here this turn, so let's roll for that. 6! 2 of my own survivors, so we'll put those out. Over here, we've got the goblins have bunkered down to try and take some shots off. The 2 wargs are going there to the tower, and these goblins have surrounded here to see who's going to do it. So, Andrew, if you want to roll.
4.
A 4.
1.
So one of your own survivors will pop up there. So we're doing this combat over here. My 1 Rohan versus his 1 survivor. 4 to a 3, so I win. So I push you back. And then roll the wound. That is Falstred. He is a strength 3. 5s, so he's gone. So rolling for priority for turn 4, I believe. 6 versus 3, so good has priority. So everybody's moved. So my 1 guy over here has just kind of protected himself. All my guys over here have hid from their archers in behind this piece of terrain. His archers haven't moved. And his goblins have marched up on center. His 2 wargs went in and charged my 1 guy there, who was lagging behind. But then inside the tower, the 2 of them got to the bead and will be rolling to see. Now, I need to roll not a 5 or a 6. No, a 4 or a 5 or a 6.
You want a 3.
You want 4, 5, or 6.
I want a 4, 5, or 6 on this. So 1. So no survivors. So the bead disappears, and we are done at the end of this turn because all the survivors have been searched for. This has become a pretty quick game. So no shooting this turn because everybody moved or everybody's hidden. So the only thing that we have left is this one combat. So my 1 dice, shielding. 5. So he pushes them off and nothing happens. So, and with that, all 5 survivor piles have been picked off, have been searched. We found 1 evil over here, 1 evil over here, but my guy managed to kill him. Nobody was found at the center of the tower. And one of my good guys was found over here, but died. So he doesn't count towards the objective. And 2 good guys were found over here. So I have 2 good guys left versus Andrew's 1 bad guy. So technically, according to the rules, this game is over before turn 5.
Amazing.
And good win. So I win. So we'll have to roll. Well, nobody died. So we'll get to some rolls about gold and seeing what happens with these survivors. So here's my army as it sits with my 2 survivors. We're going to deal with those in a second. They've got some special rules, but first is wounded. Well, none of my guys except for some survivors that I found wounded, so I don't have to roll any wounds. For now experience, we've got Fast Red here, who's one of my lieutenants who's actually leveled up. So roll a d6 to figure out, and a 5.
He gets a skill.
He gets a skill.
So we can roll on the fighting, shooting, or leadership skill tables. Alternatively, you can select 1 special rule that applies to the battle company instead.
So I'm going to go take a look at that and figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm going to choose to, with Fast Red, to pick one of his Rohan, what are they called? Special rules. And I'm going to pick Pure Blood Steed. This gives him a horse with move 12 and protective armor. Should the horse die from here on out, I can buy another Pure Blood Steed for only 6 gold instead of the 13 that it regularly costs. So now we're gonna go into the survivors. So now we're gonna deal with my survivors. Gold's generated differently for Aftermath. You get to roll 1d3 per survivor for gold. Then that gold is used to buy somebody on the good survivors list for me because I play good. So we'll see what I roll. So, I've got 3, 4, 5 gold. So now I'm gonna figure out who I'm gonna pick. So since I've rolled 5 gold, I'm going to take my first 3 of that and buy a Hobbit Militia, which I don't have the models here with me, they're at home, so we'll replace them later. Then with the other 2 that I'm gonna have, I'm gonna top that up with another 2 for my own personal amount, which we've deemed that we could do to top up to get whatever guy we want if we have the own gold, to get a Hobbit Archer. So now I have a Hobbit Militia and a Hobbit Archer added to my warband from this turn. Now we'll go over to Andrew and figure out what his 1 survivor got him for gold. So, kills, nobody died. So that's easy. Experience, since this is his 2nd one and he did not win, nobody got to level up. The only thing that we have to deal with is gold. So with his 1 survivor, he rolls a d3 and gets a 1, so he can still choose out of his gold to figure out who he wants to buy. So we will get back. With the 1 gold that he got for this guy, plus his 5 gold that he had over 2 turns, Andrew has decided to buy an Orc Tracker to add to his warband of goblins. Hey guys, we're back with the after action report, and it was a fun game.
It was really fun, yeah.
It was interesting because of the scenario. It ended really quickly because as soon as you search for survivors in each 5 of those areas, you were done. Like the game was over. So. And where we kind of placed them, it only took about 2 turns to get to each, except for the middle, which, yeah, I was at the middle in 3 turns. Yeah. So it was fun, it was different. The gold generation was kind of cool because now I have 2 hobbits and you have...
I got an Orc Tracker.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool that we get to pull in some of those other armies to actually play the game. But I think it does need the game needed to go longer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
another turn or two, I think, at least.
Yeah, or maybe get them off the board edge. That might have helped prolong the game and actually got some wounds on your regular guys so that the battle company's feel still kind of keeps going.
Yeah, it was very safe.
Yeah, it was a very safe game. So I'm happy. Are you happy? I'm happy. Adam might not be happy if we play him next. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you enjoyed my first battle report. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and ignite your hobby.